Hey everyone, Andrew Ellett here with The Whole Broker, and it's been a couple months since I've updated you, at least via newsletter. And I wanted to address the question that we're hearing a lot from buyers, sellers, agents alike, and that is, are we in a buyer's market in Jackson Hole? That's been debated hotly the last couple months. And for years now, if you've been following our market, you know that we've been at 30 and at one point even 40-year lows in inventory. And this lack of supply, followed by a tremendous demand fueled by the COVID years, and also relatively low interest rates during that period of time, has created a historic seller's market with low inventory and soaring prices. But a lot has changed in the last 3 years. One, interest rates went up 2 to 2.5 times from the COVID days, and giving buyers, in some cases, a lot less purchasing power. And also, sellers have reluctance to leave a 2.8 or a 3% interest rate in order to buy the house that they want or they need at a higher interest rate. And so, and also prices have just remained high. So this has caused buyers, many of them, to sit on the sidelines until at least one of two things happens in the market. Either the interest rates come down significantly, or there is a price correction. So to address the question, are we in or moving towards a buyer's market in Jackson Hole? Generally speaking, one of the real estate metrics that we use to figure that out is called the absorption rate. Maybe you've heard of it. The absorption rate is calculated by dividing the current inventory of homes on the market by the number of sales per month. So for example, if you have 120 homes on the market and 20 homes sold last month, you have roughly 6 months of inventory. So typically 6 months of inventory indicates a relatively balanced market. Fewer than 6 months of inventory indicates a seller's market, and more than 6 months indicates, you guessed it, a buyer's market. Right now in Teton County, and this information is courtesy of the Whole Report's mid-year numbers, we have 10 months of inventory for single-family homes. We have 11 months of inventory for vacant land, and we have 7 months of inventory for condos and townhomes in Teton County. So this would obviously suggest we are absolutely in a buyer's market. But some of you might be asking, then where are all the buyers? Where is this buyer bonanza you speak of, Andrew? Because I'm not seeing it. Well, I would suggest there are a few factors that are holding the buyers back. First, the rate situation is absolutely not helping. Recent economic data suggests that rates should start coming down, but it has not happened yet. And many buyers are waiting for that to happen before they re-engage. Secondly, the first-time home buyers market in Jackson is pretty much non-existent. There is one single-family home in Teton County priced under $1 million. There are only 9 single-family homes priced under $2 million. Third, there is enormous leaps between different brackets. So for instance, if you own a condo or a townhome in Jackson and you want to move up to a starter home, single family home with a yard, 2-car garage, that leap could easily be $500,000 or more. If you are in a starter home and you want to move up to the next neighborhood, the one that has a little bit bigger lots, a little bit nicer houses, custom builds, maybe better views, that leap in price could easily start at $1 million. So that definitely is holding buyers back from purchasing and moving up. And fourth, one thing that I feel like a lot of people aren't talking about right now, but there is a large percentage of inventory that's being listed sitting on prime property in Teton County, but those homes require significant remodels or additions. They are functionally obsolete in many ways, and many buyers do not have the appetite for costly, time-consuming remodels. They're doing their research, they're talking to contractors, and they're understanding better than when people were rushing into the market during COVID what the cost and the time frame is for a remodel or addition of their home. So the answer is yes. Based on absorption rates, we are absolutely in a buyer's market. But so far, a lot of the buyers just don't know it yet, at least based on their current behavior. So whether you're a buyer or a seller, I'd just like to give you a little bit of advice if you plan to buy or sell this summer. First, for sellers, while sales have been sluggish for the first half of 2025, know that property is still selling. We've had over 150 sales in Teton County the first half of the year, but it only is selling if it is priced right. Right now, unfortunately, there is a lot of inventory on the market that was priced way too high, and even when it's reduced, is chasing the market down, always staying 1 or 2 steps behind the market. An interesting statistic I found, of the 258 listings currently on the market right now, 88 of those have been listed since April 1st. 87 of those have been on the market for at least 1 year. 51 of those properties have been on the market for at least 2 years. And 32 of those properties have been on the market for 3 years or more. Now, granted, some of that inventory doesn't stay on the market the entire calendar year. Maybe it's just listed every summer, taken off in the winter. But it shows the length of time, the days on market, that a lot of this inventory has been on the MLS. Many sellers are still trying to sell at 2021, 2022 prices. And if your goal is to sell your property this year, you need to price it at or just below current pricing, not 2022 pricing. I know that seems like the most simplistic advice, but you'd be surprised how often that advice is not taken. My advice for buyers, I would also encourage buyers to get out of the 2022 mindset, which was, the price is the price. The seller's probably not going to negotiate much. It's not even worth wasting my time. I find that the sellers are more negotiable than ever. Some of that motivation may be already reflected in their listing price. Either they've already lowered the price several times or they've relisted it at a new price. But sellers are still willing to negotiate beyond that number. They're reluctant, obviously, to just indiscriminately drop the price if there's not a lot of people looking at the property or the market seems quiet. But for a ready, willing, and able buyer, the majority of sellers are willing to negotiate. And last piece of advice, timing is everything. If you're a buyer waiting for a price reset or interest rates to decline, please just know that everyone else is too. So when that time comes, you're going to be competing against 5 or 10 times more buyers that are waiting for the exact same thing. At that point, the market will once again flip on a dime. Savvy buyers know when and where to look for soft spots in the market during market uncertainty, and having a seasoned real estate broker to help you find these opportunities and to negotiate makes all the difference in the world. If you'd like to hear more about these buyer or seller strategies, or if you'd like to know what I feel are the best deals on the market right now, please reach out to me by email at andrew.ellett@evrealestate.com or call me directly at 307-690-6155.